Here in Sierra Leone, we are struggling, yes, with poverty, with a whole lot of other things, but in the muds come glory, in the muds found gold. Here in Sierra Leone, we have a fine young man who in his own way has contributed immensely well towards technology. Daniel Falama is one person that has inspired me in my own little corner, and I believe that all of you will be inspired by his story.
Hello, my name is Daniel, a young social innovator in Sierra Leone. I have been in the field of innovation and innovating since childhood. I started to realize my passion of creativity at the age of 8. I always do consider my talent to be natural, which is perfectly incredible, improved with hard work and self-resilience. I mostly have a passive feeling that I'm a self-taught engineer and technical expert because easily I can identify and fix technical problems. Passionately, I care to look up for solutions and fixing major or minor technical issues.
I've come across Daniel. He's an innovator. He's done a lot of impressive things, and he is one like many of them we have who they have this talent. You can imagine kids doing things that nobody taught them to do. It's just raw talent. It's coming from within.
As a young innovator, problem solver, I have built many things that is very supportive and relevant to society, like free energy generator, wireless lights, FM radio station, and air condition.
I can vividly remember when I first saw him at the I think it's the Sierra Talent Explosion or something of so. I don't really remember. He did something about where, you know, he set up all this electricity thing, and where you get to turn off your light with your cell phone. Like if you're tired and you left the bathroom lights, for example, and you're in the bedroom, you could literally just turn off the light with your phone.
In 2017, I built a wireless light, that phone can power on and off. This type of invention was eventually built, by realizing the constraint that disabled people has been undergo for a long period of time in terms of having an access to their electric switch. For me to identify such a kind of a problem, I was living with one in the same compound, so to him, I started to realize the constraint that he undergo in terms of using his electric switch at home. So later on, I think, how can I create a solution that can, put an end at least to this kind of a problem. So I solely think within my intellect, and later on inventing a wireless light that phone can power on for him. He was so grateful to having such kind of an invention.
And I was blown. I was like, oh my God, like how did he do that? Like where did he learn that from? And he was like, he just did that.
At age 15, I started to realize my potential and what my contribution to society could actually mean. During the year 2013, I calculated a discipline and made a tiny air conditioner to cool actual produce heat and chill here. At age 14, I suddenly invented my own FM radio station with few sketch coverage, which that perfectly works within my community. This FM radio station was shortly used to disseminate vital information in my community. And literally, that was how I began to expand in my little corner.
And he sort of like created a generator out of nothing, literally like recycled material.
In 2016, I figured out the plight of electricity, and later on shared deeply within my intellect to develop a system that will combat all of these problems. But as a transformative person, I later on succeeded on inventing a free energy generator that was highly appreciated by the community residents, and more especially, students from burning candles throughout the night to study. And also, there was a great difference between my generator and other generator because, it was soundless and it doesn't use water, no diesel, neither fuel. It can only generate electricity through by rotating an electric motor for something like 30 minutes and can generate energy for 8 hours, wherein it can power on many appliances at home.
Now, there are other countries. Quite recently in South Africa, we had some teams who together built an airplane in like about a week, about 10 days they did that, and they could fly that jet. So imagine us in Sierra Leone our young innovators like Daniel, they can do a lot better. All they need is the support, not necessarily financially. Yes, if you have the finances, you could help them, but things like even the materials they use to build these things, usually they build these things out of scrap metals, but imagine what they can build if they actually have the raw materials they need. It would make their work more real. So if you have the money, you could support financially. If you don't have the money, you could also support with resources, things that he would need to build other things, because what he's built so far, it's impressive.
And Sierra Leone, day like today, we all know the way our innovation has been characterized. And toward my opinion, if we can create a platform wherein every innovator will be granted the audience and to showcase his or her project, definitely I do believe that we can find ourselves in that apex.
And I could very remember when first the new government spoke about having you choose someone, David saying it about this innovator, and I remember I did a post on Facebook and I was like, I know a guy I'm sorry, I have to call him a boy because he's really, really young. And I was like, I know him, and I could vividly remember that he's so talented, he's so creative, innovative in a way that someone could just do all of those things. I would never in my wildest imagination think about doing the stuff that Daniel could actually do.
The future has no any other time to create it, but now.
If you're out there and I feel like you could, you have the opportunity of doing something and you want to help Sierra Leone. Let's say, for example, and Daniel creating a low energy or generator, for example. We know that even in Freetown, people are struggling, with electricity. And Freetown is not Sierra Leone. We've got 1/4, how should I say? Is it 1/4 of Sierra Leone that does have electricity? Okay, let me say, out of 100%, we just have 5% that do have access to electricity. And then we have Daniel, and then put in a factory, should I call it that? Okay, yeah, somewhere where he could get people that he could train, or where he could create something like that. Power system in Sierra Leone would be something of, the past and the history and that sort of thing. If I wanted to sit here right now and talk about Daniel, I could go over and over and over and over again. I'm blown by him. His work is very, very talented and innovative. And for the fact that he didn't learn it from school, from anyone, and it's just him, he's a genius, to be honest. I think, yeah.
As we all once know that Sierra Leone is not only rich in mineral resources, but also have people with rich ideas that is highly worth to uplift this planet.
Let's come together and help support his dream, which in turn translates into Sierra Leone developing great things. And yes, great things can come out of Sierra Leone. So this is my call to you for your action. Help support Daniel and other innovators to do bigger things on a larger scale, which can make Sierra Leone be known. Rwanda is developing mobile phones. They're doing all those things. How do they do it? Through their innovators. So let's help our own innovators to do more and build things that are more real.
As an innovator, problem solver, critical thinker, I always consider these problems to be an opportunity for me to create a solution, that can put an end to these global problems through my innovative level of thinking.